Magandang araw mga ka-aerial defense, may ibabahagi na naman ako sa inyo dahil ngayong araw na ito ay may bagay tayong pag-uusapan. Unang batch sa 40 na barko ng Pilipinas naglayag na para pumunta sa West Philippine Sea, pero bago tayo magpatuloy wag mo muna kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Ang unang batch ng Christmas convoy sa West Philippine Sea ay nagsimula ng maglayag ngayong Biyernes ng umaga, puno ng mahahalagang donasyon at supply, higit sa 40 voluntaryo na binubuo ng mga kabataan at mga kinatawan ng mangingisda mula sa grupong advokasya ng West Philippine Sea na, atin ito, ay sakay ng sibilyang sasakyang MV Kapitan Felix Oca na umalis ng Maynila at inaasahang darating sa El Nido, Palawan sa Sabado. Pagdating sa El Nido, magsasama-sama ang mga voluntaryo sa mas malaking contingent na 100 na mangingisda, na magiging bahagi ng 40 na boat convoy na nakatakdang mag-navigate sa paligid ng Ayungin Shoal, Patag, at Lawak Islands ng Kalayaan Island Group mula December 10 hanggang 12, para maghatid ng mahahalagang supply sa mga komunidad ng mangingisda at mga frontliner sa lugar. Ang aktibidad ay inilunsad habang patuloy na igiit ng China ang soberanya sa halos buong West Philippine Sea, kabilang ang karamihan sa kanlurang bahagi ng Exclusive Economic Zone ng Pilipinas. Gayunpaman, ang isang international tribunal na desisyon noong 2016, ay epektibong ibinasura ang malawakang pag-aangkin ng China habang sumang-ayon naman ito sa Pilipinas, ngunit hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa rin sumusunod ang China sa desisyon na ito. Sa pagdinig naman sa komite sa usaping West Philippine Sea ay nagkainitan at nagkasagutan ang PCG at isang mambabatas, matapos ipamukha sa ating hukbo na hindi nila ginagampanan ang kanilang tungkulin. Matapang naman na sinagot ito ng AFP at PCG dahil sila lamang ang nakakaalam ng totoong sitwasyon sa West Philippine Sea, at malaki ang kanilang parte sa mission natin doon.
Okay, so tanong ko lang, Mr. Chair, can the task force give us the real situation now doon sa Hulihan Pilipiri na kanina nga pinag-usapan natin, sabi ni Arman, 100 vessels ng China. So, sino po yung pwedeng mag-brief sa atin ng tungkol doon sa situation ngayon? And kasi nakakabahala, Mr. Chair, kasi this is our exclusive economic zone. So, hindi natin pwedeng papayaan magtagal sila doon. Or talagang sobrang pamubuli na yan. Kasi nung last meeting natin, Mr. Chair, due sa last incident ng bullying, o yung ginagawa nila incursion dun sa ating exclusive economic zone, nag-file na tayo ng consolidated house resolution para po doon sa doon sa kombinahin yung eto na naman, mas grabe po ito So, well, yung sitwasyon. So, why do you think na ganun kalakas ang loob nitong mga Chinese na militia or ano ba yan? Chinese Liberation Army ba yan? O People's Liberation Army? Na mag-incur doon sa ating exclusive economic zone. So, bigyan nyo nga po kami ng latest development. At ano yung gagawin natin? So kung meron na po kayo, initial man lang, ay pwede namin marinig. Sir Chair.
Sorry. My Vice Admiral Vargas, Commander of the Western Command, is looking at it. On the situation in the Hulihan Military, based on our latest air patrol, they reacted to the patrol of the Philippine Coast Guard. As of our last count, there are only 28, so they were drastically reduced from a high of 135 Chinese militia vessels. There are now only 28. As I said, they reacted to the patrol made by the Philippine Coast Guard. We monitored it at the middle of November. We started out with 90, and then tumaas hanggang 135, and then the Coast Guard went there on patrol. Last Saturday, based on our last monitoring yesterday, umalis naman po, there are now 28 only in the Hulihan Pilipinase.
Sir Chair, kay Vice Admiral Carlos, kailan po nagsimula yung incursion doon sa Uyang Philippines?
Huling Philippines, sir, is early November, sir. Ma'am, early November, Chair.
What is this early November? Can you give us the definite date?
Our earliest ISR flight in November is 5 and 6, November 5 and 6. And then the next, we monitored close to about 60. And then on November 13, tumaas ng 90. And then based on this, the last is 135 with the Philippine Coast Guard report. And it's now, as of yesterday, 20 Chinese militia vessels are still parked in Korean military.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. So, ang ibig sabihin po, yung 135 na ito nagsimula noong November 5 and 6. So, when did the PCG react to this? So, anong date po kayo nag-react? Kasi, so November 5 and 6, then November 13, tumaas ng 60 hanggang naging 135. Then, today, December 5, down to 25. So, kailan po ba kayo nag-react nun?
For the first monitor the presence, every time we monitor the presence of Chinese militia in any part of the West Philippine Sea, we send out our patrols, both the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Coast Guard. We jointly patrol the West Philippine Sea. When we first monitored it, there are 2 Philippine Navy vessels already in the area. So we went there, they issued the usual as our SOP, we issued radio challenges. They have monitored their presence, documented their presence. And it was only when the Philippine Coast Guard went there on December 2, I think, December 2, that we noticed that they reacted and they left without being there. And we are still monitoring where their locations are as of now.
Well, Mr. Chair, I may continue, Mr. Chairman. So, 135 noong November 5 and 6, and then you reacted December 2. Don't you think late na yung reaction natin doon? Kasi paano ba natin minomonitor yung ating EEZ? Kasi, ito po, Admiral, Vice Admiral, ano na natin ito eh, pag-aari na natin ito eh. Whether magkaroon ng Chinese vessel doon o hindi. So, paano natin, sana maging proactive tayo, hindi tayo reactive. Diba? So, tapos, parang, mag-1 month bago tayo nag-react. So, ang ginagawa lang natin, tinitignan lang natin sila. So, ganun lang ba yung ginagawa? Ang dami na nilang magagawa with that span of days. Baka naglagay na sila ng kung ano-ano dun sa exclusive economic zone na hindi natin alam. So, bakit ganun po tayo kabagal doon sa reaction, Mr. Chair?
With due respect to the Honorable Congressman, we are always in the WPS when we monitor any increase in the presence of Chinese vessels in any feature in the West Philippine Sea. We are always there, Philippine Navy and the Philippine Coast Guard. We follow the existing procedure to confront this presence. Like I said, we are issuing radio challenges and documenting their presence to be the basis for the finding of the diplomatic protest. When we monitored it on December 5, our ships were already there with the Philippine Coast Guard and the Philippine Navy. Ito lang nga po, they reacted when the Philippine Coast, during the last patrol of the Philippine Coast Guard on December 2. But we've been monitoring their presence, regular conduct of ISR flight. Every 5 days, we know where they are. All the vessels, all militia vessels in the West Philippine Sea. We're monitoring and we are deploying forces as appropriate. And our responses are all in accordance with the existing operational guidance given to us in the area. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hindi effective po yung ating ginagawa. So, yung diplomatic protest po through the DFA, nag-file na po tayo. When po, Vice Admiral, Mr.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much, ma'am, for the question. On the matter of diplomatic protests, we have been filing diplomatic protests on the incursions that were reported to the Department of Foreign Affairs and that were given to us by the MDFHPS for filing. So we reviewed the report and if it is deemed as a basis for our close record, then we file them.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Chair. So mukhang hindi na pinapansin ng China yung ating mga non-verbal at yung mga diplomatic protest. So biro niyo po, from 135, natuwa tayo bumaba to 125. Tuwa na po ba tayo? Pero nandun pa rin siya sa exclusive economic zone. So ano pa po ba yung pwede natin gawin? Kailangan mawala sila doon. Kasi exclusive economic zone natin. So parang hindi effective yung sinasabi ng existing procedure. Kasi siguro kung ibang bansa yan, siguro sa mga experience ng Indonesia na nababasa ko, pag tumutong ka kahit na isang vessel doon sa exclusive economic zone nila. Pero syempre, hindi naman natin gagawin yung very drastic. Ayaw naman natin yun. Baka ano pa po ba yung pwede nyo maisip na mas tingin nyo na pwede pa natin gawin? Aside doon sa existing procedure, kasi hindi na nila pinapansin yun. Yung diplomatic protest, hindi na nila pinapansin yun. Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair. Thank you, ma'am. For our response on the ground are really very calibrated, ma'am. We want to keep the peace on the ground. That's why our responses are very, very well calibrated. We're just monitoring our efforts on the ground. I limited on establishing a strong naval presence with the Philippine Coast Guard and monitoring the situation on the ground through our maritime domain awareness effort and also our last effort is effective occupation. We are increasing our off-tempo on these three areas. Hopefully, we will improve. We will change some realities on the ground. But these are all efforts that we are continuously improving, increasing the off-tempo until we will have an amended rules engagement and SOP on the ground decision.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No? So, pero yung tinatawag ito, Mr. Chair, so hindi ko nasasakatan kung sa ginagawa ng ating kinaukulan doon sa pangyayaring ito. Tingin ko dapat mag-heighten tayo ng ano ba yung mga pwede nating panggawin. Kung hindi uubra ito, ano pa ba yung mga pwede nating gawin? Kasi kailangan natin pagtanggol yung yung soberanya. Diba? So, isang buwan tapos nandiyan pa yung 25 na yon. So, soberanya ang usapin dito, hindi lang kung ano lang po. So, soberanya natin ito. Territorial. Hindi lang sovereign rights. Soberanya natin ito kasi sa akin po ito. So, yung 25 na yan, so, kailangan may gawin na tayo para talagang totally maalis yan. Ano po ba mapapangako na or makukumit na concrete na pwedeng magawa, Mr. Chair?
I noticed Congressman raising his hand. You may respond. Sorry, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. With all due respect to the Honorable Congresswoman Castro, I think the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard understand our patriotic duty in claiming our presence in the West Philippine Sea. With your first question as to whether the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard are not proactive in responding to the presence of the Chinese maritime militia, I would like to emphasize that as what Admiral Carlos mentioned, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, together with the Philippine Air Force, Philippine Navy, and the Philippine Coast Guard, when we learned that the Chinese maritime militia started swarming in Julian Felipe, we have constantly sent our limited assets, whether it's the Philippine Navy or the Philippine Coast Guard. That's why we were able to document their increasing presence from November until last Saturday of December 2. Now, the second question, whether...
may cut to them, Commodore Ariel. Sabi nyo, November 5 to 6, pero nag-react lang kayo ng PCG ng December 2. So, ang daming araw noon, di ba? Nanamonitor nyo na November 5 and 6 So, di ba sabi niyo po, sabi hanggang sa umaba na siya. So, 135. So, I don't believe na talagang ginagawa niyo yung katungkulan o sinasabi niyo po na enough yung ginagawa niyo para mapigil natin ito. So I beg to disagree doon sinasabi nito. Kasi kaya nga po tinatanong ko, no, kailan nyo na-monitor? November 5 and 6. Tapos bumaba siya, 16, naging 16, naging 25. December 2 lang kayo po nag-react.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair. Mag-respond lang po ako sa tanong niyo, ma'am, no? Ang Philippine Coast Guard po, November 13, nagpunta doon, and also December 2. Ganito po yan, ma'am. Ang deployment po ng Philippine Coast Guard at ng Armed Forces of the Philippines on a rotational basis. Kung nag-deploy na po si Westcom ng Philippine Navy on November 5 and 6, and then the Philippine Coast Guard will do their patrol on the next following week. And then eventually the Philippine Air Force as well will be sending their aircraft. Hindi lang po Philippine Coast Guard. Again, with the very limited assets that we have, just to emphasize, we only have 3 vessels in Palawan. And if you can just imagine how vast West Philippine Sea is, we cannot expect that the Philippine Coast Guard will be there 24/7 in Huliang, Philippines to watch over the swarming of the Chinese Maritime Militia. And then the second question, ma'am, just to respond to your question, are we effective in doing what we're doing right now? I think so. With the transparency initiative that we have launched since February, wherein we exposed the swarming of Chinese Maritime Militia, we can notice how they responded. The swarming of Sabina showed before in last April when we publicized it. A few days after they left. When they did the swarming in Iraq, we also publicized it, they also left. Now here in Huliang, Philippines, are we going to celebrate this already? With the 135 down to 28? I think so. And then in the next coming days, we're still going to expect that they're going to withdraw.
Okay, Mr. Chair, why not? Sinasabi natin, hindi pa tayo nagsa-celebrate dito. Kahit na isang vessel na nakalagay yung China doon, ano yun, violation dun sa ating soberanya. Hindi tayo natutuwa doon, Mr. Chair, kay Commodore doon sa sinasabi niya. Hindi tayo nagsa-celebrate doon sa kapag 135, naging 25. Hindi ako satisfied doon, Mr. Chair. Kasi, pero hindi mo dapat sabihin na nagsa-celebrate kayo dahil sa 135. Mr. Chair, ginawa mo yung nag-down sila sa 125 dahil December 2 lang kayo nag-react. Well, I appreciate, no, with the limited resources of the PCG, and even siguro yung AFP natin, kayo ngayon, naghihingi kayo dito ng more, tingin ko more funding capacity, but naman yon, pwede naman yon, at tama naman yon. Kaya lang po, Mr. Chair, kung sinasabi mo kanina, Mr. Chair, sabi ni Commodore, kailangan na, hindi nila pwedeng mabantayan yan 24 hours or araw-araw. Why not? Diba? So ano kaya tinatanong natin, Mr. Chair, dito? Ano pa ba yung pwede natin gawin? Para mabantayan natin man lang yung ECC natin. Hindi na yung West Philippine Sea man lang. Ito, yung ECC natin, yun lang po, Mr. Chair, kasi talagang worry talaga ako na tayo ay binubuli ng China na ganito yung capacity natin. Nakakahiya, di ba? So, po, Mr. Chair.
Before you respond, para hindi masyadong tension mataas doon sa West Philippines.
Para sa mas madaming update tungkol sa ating defense, abangan lamang ang aking mga bagong video. Para naman sa mga gusto magpa-shoutout, mag-comment lamang po at share, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Huwag mo na rin kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe. Pindutin mo na rin ang bell para updated kayo sa aking mga video. Maraming salamat po.